Well, good morning. It is a beautiful morning out here again this morning. It's, well, not quite what we expected. We had a bunch of landscape projects to do. You can see we've got some dirt piles, some big rocks, got all our wood chips over here. Plans change. We're not going to be doing that today because it is raining. So I'm actually going to run down to the bottom where the tractor is. I'm going to take the dump trailer, see if I can get 2 more loads of dirt. If I have enough traction in this wet weather with the tractor to get that loaded, and then bring that up. I'll get the trailer all washed up and greased up. And then I think that's going to be it for landscaping work today, just because, well, anytime you want to move dirt, you want it to be dry. You don't want it to be mucky and sticky and gross, right? I tell you, being down in this field here, this is in the bottom, the corrals. We've got corrals over here. And then this is just kind of an open paddock where it's got good cow fencing, but it's not really accessible it's kind of a pain in the ass to get the cows in here. But it does connect directly to the sheep pastures. And it'd be a great paddock if we could get the sheep fencing built for it, but it'd probably be close to $1,000 worth of fencing. So it's not like a small thing you can just, do in a half a day or something like that. Probably about 4 or 5 days worth of fencing to get it done. But I mean, there's enough grass in here. You could probably sleep in here. It'd be like, there's so much grass, it'd be like laying on a king size pillow top mattress. And I'm pretty confident I could keep, well, for sure I could keep 50 sheep in here for the better part of the summer. As you can see behind me, the skies are pretty gloomy, so it'd be very limited on what landscaping work we can do today. It is actually raining quite steadily. It's not like a hard rain, but it's a steady rain anyways. So I'll get the tractor back up, and then I gotta go feed all the critters. I still haven't done that yet because I was more concerned about moving dirt while it was still somewhat dry. So this little stretch right here, this is the biggest obstacle to fencing off this big pasture that we would want to run the sheep in. This is an ephemeral draw, which basically means that if it rains, water flows. If it doesn't rain, water doesn't flow. So it's like a drainage from multiple different sections of land to the north and to the west of us. They all run through here, and they go through that tree line and all the way down to the lake, which is great that we have a good water source. What isn't good is that we have to allow it to flow through the field. And so if I want to keep sheep in, but I've also got to allow water to pass through, when that thing dries up, wherever the hole is that the water can flow through is a place that a sheep can go through. So it creates a bit of a problem. So I got to figure out some type of a barred culvert or something like that so that water can travel through, but animals cannot. Well, I've piled up a bunch of dirt by the chicken coop here, just trying to landscape the water away from the chicken houses, like a big hollow spot right here. And I parked the tractor. I'm on the much dreaded goon spoon. There's probably more I could do with the tractor in here, but if you're ever, I'm not the smoothest operator when it comes to running the tractor. If you've ever watched a robot from the 70s, that's kind of how I am running the tractor. You just look at that and you're like, these things don't stand a chance of taking over the world. Technology is dead. Anyways, so I'm pretty handy with the shovel. I just don't like hard work, but I'm kind of left with no choice right now. Either screw this up or put a little bit of sweat into it. So, and it's pouring rain just to top that all off. Makes it so much better. So probably work at this for about an hour, and then I think I'm gonna have a well-deserved cup of tea. Oh. So I've been shoveling now for about 20 minutes. It's starting to look pretty good. I got a little bit more to do at the corner here. Getting a little bit short on dirt. But while I catch my breath, I thought I'd give you a little bit of history on the old Yeller tractor here. So it's a Massey 40 industrial tractor, mid-70s era. We got this from the Willowview spring consignment sale back in, I think, 2018. Yeah, 2018. The minute I saw it, I'm like, I gotta have this tractor. So even with that kind of determination, the bonus here was that the tractor actually ran. Not that great, but it ran. It's running good this year. We've done a pile of work to the fuel system, to the ignition system, and it's running good. But family history, my grandpa actually had the exact same tractor, not this tractor itself, but one exactly the same except for, see where we got the roll bar there? He had a roof on his and a plexiglass window out the back, which was so scratched up and dirty you couldn't see anything out of it. So it was a real gem to drive, and especially anytime you wanted to back up because you had no idea where you were going. So I think he drove that tractor for like 30 years just by feel alone, which is probably why he hit the shop door and the barn door and his pickup so many times. But yeah, so the minute I saw that tractor, I was just like immediately in love. Just a cool thing to have the same tractors my grandpa had, and I guess to experience some of the same struggles that he had. I just had to coax the lambs over into this field here and behind the shop. They've been turned into here, but I've had this gate open so they can go back and forth between their old paddock and the new paddock. But they've been preferring to spend some time in there just because they're more familiar in here. And they haven't been grazing this a lot. It's really mature grass because I didn't have that fence finished. So I guess if there's any doubt about whether or not you should turn your sheep loose early or not, I think the earlier the better while the grass is in that, I guess, adolescent phase, not in the juvenile phase while it's struggling to get up, and not while it's in its mature phase while it's not very palatable. But get it somewhere in between so you can maximize the photosynthesis and maximize the palatability of the grass, thus increasing the biomass available for your animals. Because right now, like I said, I've got to bribe them to come in here, but they're gonna, like it or not, they're gonna have to chew all this old mature grass down, and we're gonna do a little bit of bale grazing in here, because you can see even down here, like, yeah, okay, there's lots of grass, but if you get down below, the canopy level of that grass, there's not a ton of actual shoots coming up. So once we get this blown down, we can roll out some bales, and they can eat on that and work in some of the old seed. It's actually pretty incredible to realize how much viable seed is left in a round bale, even when it's like this one here we've got over there, that's 2 years old, and we've just been using it as bedding and like I said, just for a little bit of bale grazing. If a couple of soft spots or sparse spots where there's not much growing, we can toss a bit over it, reduces erosion, helps control the weeds, and then it drops in viable seeds into the ground. So this process I think is going to work quite well, as long as we can get the old sheeps to do their part. Come on, chickens, come get your breakfast. So it's time to feed the piggies. Just gotta make sure I turn this Energizer off, because when it's raining, I'll get lit up like a Christmas tree if I touch this netting here. So same as yesterday, I'm gonna spread their food on top of this manure pile here. This is just old, like 5-10-year-old cow manure. It's aged in a pile, composted down pretty good. We want the pigs to work this into the garden area so that we have a nice, lush, fertile garden next year. Because this year it was pretty, well, you can see over there, pretty nitrogen deficient. So a few of the plants did good. The peas did really good. Carrots have done okay. Potatoes not so much. And squash, cucumbers, tomatoes, all that stuff did really, really poor. Turns out the chickens love the old yeller tractor too. They're gonna be taking some dust baths in this dirt, I'm guessing, so that's okay. They can help me level this out. It'll be less for me to shovel. Well, I'm back out. It's time to do evening chores. Man, look at the sky over here. Look how gorgeous that is. Anyways, had a great supper from the land. We had chicken. It was raised right here on the farm. Ate that grass right there. That pasture-raised chicken is like fabulous. Anyways, just threw it in the Instapot and up on the rack, and then put about a ½ inch of water in the bottom, and then steam cooked it, or pressure steam cooked it, I guess. It was fantastic. Well, anyways, now that I've had my supper, it's time to take supper to the pigs. and get a batch of feed mixed up for chickens and pigs and sheep and everybody for tomorrow. And then I think it's time to go in. I've already actually had a cup of tea, but I'm gonna sneak in a cheeky second cup. Maybe see if I can fix up a little bit of dessert. I think that'll be just grand. Well, anyways, that's the piggies all fed there, so I think I'm gonna call that a wrap for tonight. See if I can't go in and sneak that cheeky cup of tea. So I hope you have a fantastic night. We'll see you tomorrow.